Hey guys, Tiffany here, and today I am doing a book review. Now, in addition to small businesses, I also like to support independent authors as well. Of course, I do like to read some mainstream authors. There's nothing wrong with that. But also I like to make sure that I am supporting the independent ones as well. And one such author is one that I have known, and my black cat keeps falling. I'm just going to set him here. One such author I have known for several years, and her name is Christine Soltis. And she is an author of horror, science fiction. I think she has done like a couple of I think it was one kind of coming of age story about turning 30 or something like that. But she wrote this book, Estranged Decisions. Don't know, let's see if you, okay, yeah, there we go. I didn't want to get the glare from the light. I have some mood lighting for this one just because it is kind of a spooky story. But she writes horror, she writes science fiction, she has her own production company, she does panels. Back in March she did a panel on aliens, alien encounters, things like that, and it was pretty fascinating because she has speakers, and she's having another one. It's at I believe the Bethel Park Library. She has another one coming up, I think, in November. So I will be making sure I go to that because they're always very fascinating. And she also, she's an investigator. She makes healing stone and crystal jewelry. This is actually one of her pieces that I'm wearing. And I'm going to be reviewing her book, Estranged Decisions. Now, this book, it's an anthology book, so it's not obviously it's not really a long read, but but like I said, I definitely think it's worth picking up. So this book, it has a few different stories in it, and the stories are called Accursed, Crazy Mary Talks to Objects, Emery's Magic Services, Cerebel's Back Path, Into Lada's Lair, An Alpha Class, The Devil and then the last one is A Poisoned Garden. And basically, the back, it reads, inside this compilation, enjoy 8 eagerly estranged story editions. You will start out with Accursed and meet a witch whose favorite pastime is to haunt others. Follow on to meet Crazy Mary, who spends her spare time talking to objects. Continue into Lada's Lair, where this ancient woman creature will try to keep you forever. Illumination comes in the darkest corners, but beware the way things appear, for they can oftentimes be deceiving. Welcome to the weird, the world, the estranged. So I will say, I'm going to go through each of the stories. Now, Accursed, I found that story to be, it definitely, the one thing about her stories in general is they always, she manages to hook you in from the very first sentence. Like in Accursed, you first meet this mysterious woman who's on her way to this hotel, you're left wondering who this woman is. But the first paragraph in Accursed is, one by one, rotten fingernails scratched briskly against a pumpkin's outer shell. Those irregular 2-inch nails glowed yellow with fungus. The underside was indigo and bruised beyond black and blue. Scratch, scrape, scratch. The fingernails coursed up and down, the integument mindlessly possessed. A shadowed female rocked back and forth with the pumpkin trembling in her lap. Her nails continued to slash deeply as they began to enter the soft inner flesh. So that's the first paragraph of Accursed. And again, it's, as you can see, you know, very, very descriptive writing. And I would say, you know, this anthology as a whole definitely kind of echoes, it echoes a little bit of old school Twilight Zone with a little bit of, you know, maybe some of those like anthologies like from the 80s and 90s, like Tales from the Dark Side or something like that. In the next book, Crazy Mary Talks to Objects, that is one of the more light-hearted stories in the in this anthology. It's like, it's kind of weird, kind of a little creepy, but overall kind of lighthearted. It sort of reminds me of a very, very old school like Twilight Zone episode from the 50s and 60s, and y'all know I'm a big Rod Serling fan, so but it does kind of remind me like that, like Crazy Mary Talks to Objects, like that would be a story, like say if we were to go back in time and do this and like shoot that this particular story for television, I would say that would fit right in with one of the very like old school like Rod Serling Twilight Zone episodes. And then we have Anne-Marie's Magic Services. This is actually one of my favorite stories, and it's really about how, you know, how to really kind of make your decisions wisely. And the ending, I mean, it is, you know, it's kind of happy, but there's definitely a twist to it. But I'd say that's probably my favorite in the book. And then Sarah Bell's Back Path, that's more of like a science fiction story, if you're into the more sci-fi side of things. And then into Lada's Lair, that kind of goes with my Celtic fantasy side that I do on my music channel. So Into Lada's Lair, that fits right in with, you know, my whole like gothic Celt fantasy theme that, like I said, I do on my music channel. And then an Alpha Class, that's, you know, that's also a cool story. And then The Devil and, you know, and then A Poison Garden. Though it's just all the stories have their own just unique twist, unique vibe to it, but they all kind of tie together. In fact, I mean, I don't know, like I wouldn't mind maybe seeing like kind of like a wraparound story one of these days, to where like all these characters in these stories like tend to find themselves. So Estranged Decisions, Christine usually has copies like at her appearances. There's also, you can pick up her books on Amazon as well. I definitely recommend picking this up, especially like if you don't want to have to commit to reading like a really long, kind of like a long novel. If you just want like a couple of quick lunchtime reads where you can just delve into a cool short story and then, you know, go about your day. You know, I would say definitely pick this book up, especially since we're getting to spooky season. This is a great spooky season read, I would say, as well. So, all right. So, there will be a part 2 of this video because I will be selecting a story to read from here for my 31 days of Halloween. So what am I saying, 30 days of Halloween? Like, what's wrong with me? But there's 31 days. But but my 31 days of Halloween. But I will be reading a story, selecting a story from here. So stay tuned for that as part of my 31 days of Halloween here. And again, I'll leave the link to this book as well as some of her other works in the description below. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video, this review, and take care, and thank you for watching, and feel free to join me on here as well as on my music channel as well. I'll leave the link to my music channel in the description as well. So, all right, take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.